Welcome back, everybody, to the Seattle Sonics, MyNBA franchise, here on NBA 2K22. Today we kick off a new season of Seattle Sonics basketball, here with year number 4 of the series officially kicking off. We just wrapped up what ended up being a pretty eventful offseason in which we added a number of talented pieces. Last episode was free agency, in which we signed Emmanuel Quickley and Fred VanVleet. Of course, in the draft, we had the 7th overall pick and selected center Uzoma Chukwumereji. And I think this team is in a really good spot. I think we improved from last year, and keep in mind, last season's team was 1 win away from the NBA Finals. So this is what the lineup is going to look like for the start of the season. We're going to run an 11-man rotation to begin the year. I'm not sure how long we're going to stick with that. It's probably going to go down as the year goes on, but we do have 11 players who I feel comfortable with getting NBA minutes. I do want to take a quick look at the power rankings, as NBA.com has us at number 2, only behind the Oklahoma City Thunder. I think it's awfully bold to have the Thunder at 1. 2K Sports' power rankings are terrible. They had the Lakers at 1. I get the Lakers added 4 starters in the offseason, but they have a combined total of 1 all-star appearance. The rest of these teams at the top, for the most part, also don't make a lot of sense. And they have us at 14 below teams like Houston and Portland. That just doesn't make any sense. They have a lot of really talented teams at the bottom, like St. Louis and New Orleans and teams like that who were good last year. And then we have Big Eric over here. His power rankings are very similar to NBA.com's. That he has is in second behind the Oklahoma City Thunder. They're a lot better than 2K's, let's just put it that way. I ended up changing the appearance of some of our players as well. I know some of you guys suggested that we do that. So Oscar J. Basile looks a little bit different. He has a new hairdo and a bigger beard. Kyril Story has a new hairdo. Mukwamu has a new hairdo and a beard as well. I know you guys have suggested that I really change things up. I think it makes it a little bit more immersive, and I agree with that. So our opponent here for the first game today, we're going to play 2. The first one is one of the new expansion teams, the Mexico City Capitanes, in their very first game in NBA history, which I think is pretty cool to be their very first opponent. The Capitanes were dead last in all 3 power rankings, so long story short, they're not very good, but we'll see what they're made of today. As Season 4 is underway, the tip-off is won by the new kid on the block, Uzoma Chukwumereji, who is blocked on the opening possession by Serge Ibaka. Welcome to the NBA, rookie. There's Mexico City's first shot, a fadeaway 3 by Nickeil Alexander-Walker. No good. Seattle with it on the fast break. Murray with a nice pass for Kyril Story with the step-back mid-ranger. Story in his second season out of Clemson, coming off a very solid rookie year. As Story has it in the corner, wide open, gonna let it fly! Kyril Story with 5 quick points to open up the ball game, and the Sonics are off to a good start here in tonight's matchup. The Capitanes looking for an answer as Nickeil Alexander-Walker hits a long 2. The first points in Mexico City Capitanes history, as it's now 5-2. Oscar J. Basile with the crossover hits the 3. Oscar had a pretty solid regular season, but was really fantastic in the playoffs, averaging nearly 28 points a game throughout the entire postseason as DeJounte Murray gets the layup inside, and it's 10-2. Great start here for the Seattle Sonics as Mexico City does complete the lob. Alexander Walker gets it to Miles Bridges. Bridges, the highest rated player on this team. He's going to be a building block for them, along with top draft pick Prince Ezekwesili out of Kansas. As there is DeJounte Murray, who hits the 3. It's now 13-4. Following possession here from Mexico City. They only have 2 baskets here in the opening 4 minutes. As here's Cameron Payne, the former Sonic, hitting the 3. Cameron Payne started at point guard in the first game of Mexico City's history and the first game with our team's history as well, which is pretty cool. As Oscar J. Basile hits another 3, Oscar with an early 6 points, and it's 16-9. The Capitanes looking to answer as Nickeil Alexander-Walker hits the contested layup, and the Seattle Sonics call timeout up by 5 early. All things considered, though, a pretty good start for Seattle, as here is Nahshon Busy Bones Highland with the pull-up jumper. Bones Highland is this team's 6th man. They're going to look to get him with some vacuum points off the bench, as there's the rookie Octavius Macon with his first NBA points off the bench. He scored before the starting center, Uzoma Chukwumereji, the other rookie, which is kind of cool. Good off-ball movement there by the Capitanes as it's capped off of the 3 by Nickeil Alexander-Walker, and Mexico City now has it within 2. There's Macon with the slam! The 32nd overall pick out of Sierra Canyon High School is off to a very quick start tonight with 4 early points within the opening minute of his NBA career. And it's now 18-20 as Cam Reddish hits the 3 off the bench. Reddish will be one of the leaders off the bench, and with Bol Bol and R.J. Hampton gone, Reddish is the only player who was drafted in the expansion draft 3 years ago who is still on the roster. Good inbounds play and layup by Mexico City as it's now a 5-point game. That pass tipped away by Emmanuel quickly. Sonics with it back as Cam Reddish hits the 3. Good defense by Quickly, good passing, and good bucket by Cam Reddish, who has 8 points here off the bench in the first quarter, as it's 28-20. Quickly calls for an off-ball screen. He's going to look to get it to his rookie, Octavius Macon, who is no good at the buzzer. Pretty good first quarter, though, on both sides of the floor. The Sonics look pretty solid as they lead this game 28-20. Now 28-22 early in the second. Murray with the pump fake over to Buzz Wigington, the star on this team. He gets his first points of the season. Buzz was snubbed from the All-Star team last year, but did make his first All-NBA team as he made it to the 3rd team. Cameron Payne cooking down low on Dikembe Mukuamu. Nice play by Payne as it's 24-30. Mexico City continuing to keep this game competitive as Oscar J. Basilan gets an acrobatic dunk. Oscar won the dunk contest last year, and he was posterizing everybody in the playoffs, getting right back to that here in the regular season. 24-34, Ezekwesili to Payne to Serge Ibaka. Ibaka's the veteran and one of the big-time leaders on this team, and he certainly looks to make a big impact in the locker room. What a great pass by Murray in the corner for Dikembe Mukuamu, who hits the 3. DeJounte Murray, of course, signed to a 4-year extension in the offseason, worth just under $80 million in what my opinion is a bargain for the Sonics as Miles Bridges hits the contested shot. Now 31-37. Oscar J. Basilan with the poster. It looked like Bones Highland was the victim as Oscar went high up in the sky to get the slam. Oscar J. Basilan with 10 points here in the first half, looking very solid per usual on the offensive end of the floor as he rips it away from Miles Bridges. Seattle with it on the fast break. Oscar lobs it up for DeJounte Murray, who gets the 360 layup. I think we were all kind of hoping for a dunk, but a fancy layup will do. 31-41, that shot is blocked at the rim by Buzz Wigington, one of the best young shot blockers in the league. Oscar inside for Buzz, step back, splash. The best offense is good defense, shown on that possession by Buzz Wigington as the Sonics have their biggest lead of the day at 12 points. The rookie, Prince Ezekwesili, with a nice move on Chance Dumas. That's Ezekwesili's first career NBA bucket. 35-45 now. Kyril Story left wide open for 3. Story is a very good scorer from inside the arc. He's a little bit inconsistent from 3, but he was able to get that one to fall. Van Vliet at the rim, no good. Quickly storms in for the rebound. He's blocked. However, Van Vliet gets it back. Hands it off of a rookie, Uzama Chukwumereji, who is fouled by Alexander Walker. So Uzama Chukwumereji going to go for the line looking for his first career NBA points, and there you go. He's on the board there with a 3-throw. Chukwumereji's a good mid-range shooter, and I think he's going to have good touch of a 3-throw line. I wouldn't be surprised if he shoots upwards of 70% from the line as a rookie. Nice block by Octavius Macon on the other end. Uzama Chukwumereji throws it down. This kid has some nice moves as a dunker, even though he's 7 foot 260. He's a little bit of an acrobat. Following possession, and one for Uzama Chukwumereji. Uzama started the game off slowly on offense, but has really figured things out here in the second quarter. 39-59, quickly for 3. No good. Nice putback by Reddish, and it's a 22-point lead. The Sonics have dominated here in the second quarter as Alexander Walker's no good at the rim. Emmanuel quickly going to try to get a shot off. Heaves it up. No good, but a great start here for the Sonics. And you do have to keep in mind, Mexico City's an expansion team playing their first game in NBA history, so you're going to expect some growing pains. And we've definitely seen that from the Capitanes as we move to the second half. Nice slam by Miles Bridges, blowing by the defender. The Capitanes still going to look to keep this game competitive as Buzz Wigington has it down low with his signature turnaround one-handed jumper. And that'll bring the lead back up to 20. Now it's 43-63 as the lob for Ezekwesili is unsuccessful. Murray and Story running up the floor. I think they both tried to choreograph a lob. They sort of mistimed it. So DeJounte Murray will gladly settle for the mid-range jumper instead, and Seattle's up by 22 as there's another failed lob. I don't really know what Mexico City's trying to do on offense. It just seems like they're trying to heave it up for the rim, hope somebody can make a play there on the lob attempt, but it just has not been working at all. 43-65, there's Dumas with the pump fake, the drive, and the finish. Nice slam by Chance Dumas in his second season. Buzz Wigington looking to join the fun as he's going upstairs where Grandma hides the cookies. And the Seattle Sonics now had 69. Now, unfortunately, they don't, as it's 47-71. There's Oscar J. Basile, lets it go from deep. Now it's a 27-point lead as the Sonics are continuing to build up this lead, and they're not showing any signs of slowing down. Stolen by Buzz. Great opportunity for Seattle on the fast break as Oscar J. Basile gets the 360 layup off the lob. At least Seattle's lobs are successful, unlike Mexico City's, as it's now a 29-point game. Hey, there's a nice shot. The three-pointer falls for Derek Gilmore, and so the Capitanes make it a little bit closer as that pass is inside, stolen by Buzz Wigington, who's been insane on defense today. Dumas with the lob for Killa Cam Reddish. And Seattle is now up by 31 points. Now they're not up by 31, but they were. Oscar J. Basile taking his time. Pump fake inside for Dumas. He gets the layup to go down. You could have made a case that should have been an and one. Now 54-83. We've got a jump ball between Buzz and Cameron Payne. I wonder who's going to win that. Off the jump ball, Oscar J. Basile draws the double team. He has Buzz wide open with the mid-ranger. Seattle back up by 31 points. Now it's 60-89. About 50 seconds left in the quarter. Buzz Wigington has the isolation here on Bones Highland. That's a mismatch as he takes practically an open three and gets it to fall. Buzz Wigington has been fantastic here in the third quarter, and he's been very good all night. 60-92 now. Bones Highland hits the three. That'll cut the lead within 30. Now Seattle here looking for a buzzer beater, trying to extend the lead. Reddish to quickly to Macon for three, and it is off the mark. Another good quarter of basketball there for the Sonics, and with it being a 29-point lead, I think it's fair to say the Sonics should win this game comfortably. So we're just going to skip through the fourth quarter, and indeed, Seattle's going to win this one. 125-94 is your final. A great opening day victory here for the Seattle Sonics, and again, all things considered, it's against a pretty bad team here in the Mexico City Capitanes, who are playing their very first game in NBA history. But hey, a win is a win at the end of the day, especially when it's a 31-point win to open up a season. Overall, just a well-rounded performance. A 30 ball here for Oscar J. Basile, and he also had 7 assists. Buzz with 17, 13, 4 steals, and 5 blocks. He was a menace on defense. Story, Reddish, Murray, and Chukwumereji also finished in the double figures. Bones Highland led the Capitanes with 26. Nobody else had more than 13 outside of him. So I wanted to figure out which game I wanted to finish today's episode with, and I really want to play against the Raptors. They have a very fun young core led by Scotty Barnes, Quentin De Colo, Teodor Chukwu II, and their recent draft pick, Vesislav Svenmanis. So we're going to simulate past this Utah game. We ended up winning by 7. The Jazz are a pretty bad team, so I wish we could have played a little bit better. Emmanuel Quickley off the bench was our leading scorer with 21 points. That's pretty cool to see. And again, at the end of the day, a win is a win as we head to game number 3 on the season. Both teams rocking their alternate jerseys. The Sonics in their all yellows. Toronto in their all reds as Oscar J. Basile lets it fly from deep. That was Curry range, a good 3 or 4 feet beyond the line, and he still let it fly. Kyril Story goes for the open 3, does not fall, but Buzz Wigington is there for the putback, and it's 5-0. Pretty good opening minute here for Seattle. As here is Scotty Barnes in his 4th year out of Florida State University. Gets the layup to go in off of the goaltending by Buzz Wigington, although that ball was pretty much already in anyway. Pass is intercepted there by Scotty Barnes. It was Oscar J. Basile with the turnover. And then on the other end, Toronto in the corner hits the 3. That's OG Anunoby, the veteran of this team, and we're tied at 7. Uzoma Chukwumereji open in the corner. Gonna let it fly, because why not? The big fellow with his first career 3-point make, and it's 10-7 as Quentin De Colo bobbles it, gets it back in the corner for Daxton Lease, who hits the 3-pointer. Lease is pretty much this team's sharpshooter as Oscar J. Basile, and holy guacamole! What a great slam by Oscar, who was in the air probably for a good 5 seconds. I mean, he was literally floating up there. Scotty Barnes, no good, grabs his own rebound, passes it back out for Lease, over to Quentin DeColo, the second-year point guard out of France. DeColo is really this team's franchise player. He had a fantastic rookie season. Looking for more here in year 2 as Scotty Barnes hits the 3. Toronto leads by 4. The Raptors are hitting all their perimeter shots so far as it's 16-12. Kyril Story, no good, grabs his own rebound and gets the putback. Good play there by Story, and that'll bring it within 2. Here's Anunoby inside for Quentin DeColo. No good. Tries to grab his own rebound, which he does, and gets the shot over the extended arm of Buzz Wigginton Jr. Now 18-16. Here's Cam Reddish going to stop, pop, and drop on the mid-ranger. Nice play by Reddish, who's gotten off to a pretty good start for this season. 18 apiece now. Peyton Pritchard over to the rookie out of Latvia. This is Slavs Zvenmanis, who goes inside for the lefty layup. 20-18 now. Fred VanVleet, the former Raptor, over to Cam Reddish. No good. Another rebound and another putback for the Sonics. And we are now knotted up at 20. Toronto takes the lead back 22-20. Here's Emmanuel quickly off the pass from VanVleet with the poster. Emmanuel quickly going up there with the slam over Nerlens Noel. 22-22. Quickly looking for more. He gets it over to VanVleet. Goes to the rim, and he is stuffed by Chris Boucher, and that will conclude the first quarter. We've got a tight one up to this point. Seattle 22, Toronto 22 as we move to the second. Oscar J. Basilan tries to fool Pritchard on the pump fake over to Murray. Back out to a wide open Oscar J. Basilan, who connects from the land of far, far away, and it's now a 3-point game in favor of the Sonics. Scotty Barnes in the corner for Moses Moody over to Theodore Chukwa, who gets it off of another goaltending by Buzz Wigginton. Theodore Chukwa in his 3rd year from France, very talented center. 26-27. Scotty Barnes lets it fly from deep, and the Toronto Raptors are definitely holding their own so far. They actually hold the lead 29-27 off the 3 by Barnes as Kyril Story flies inside for the two-handed dunk. And now the Sonics are back up, 31-29. DeColo gets the screen from Chukwa, the French connection. DeColo somehow gets the shot to go down. He was literally smothered on that possession. Doesn't matter. Still makes it. Barnes at the rim, deflected away by Mukwamu, but Scotty Barnes would get it back. He makes the putback. Very active first half offensively for Scotty Barnes. As Seattle has a screen, that gets Kyril Story wide open at the top of the key. Story wasn't even involved with the screen. I think Seattle was just trying to take the attention off of him, and obviously it worked. Emmanuel quickly now with room, connects from deep, and now the Sonics are firing away from beyond the arc as it's 35-39. Seattle's offense kind of struggled early in this game, but they're definitely figuring it out here as Barnes blows by Dumas, a rare defensive miscue from Chance Dumas. That doesn't happen with him overly often. As Uzoma Chukwuemeka glides inside for the and one. Daxton Lease called for the foul. Great play by Uzoma as Reddish is then blocked. It's Veseslav Zvenmanis who deflects it. Great cross-court pass to the other side of the floor to Quentin DeColo, who puts Toronto up with a 3. DeColo's not a great three-point shooter, but he's made a couple triples here in the first half. Peyton Pritchard open off the assist from Veseslav Zvenmanis. That'll put Toronto up by 4, their biggest lead of the day. Now 45-43, there's Buzz Wigginton guarded by Nerlens Noel, trying to show off the size as he passes it out for Cam Reddish in the corner. He hits the 3, that'll put Seattle back up. 47-48, here's Emmanuel quickly trying to get open. Gets it back over to Buzz. Another fadeaway and another bucket, this time at the buzzer. Pretty solid second quarter there for Seattle, but the Raptors are keeping this one close. 47-50, your score here at halftime. Quentin DeColo leads the way with 14 for Toronto. He has been very impressive, along with Scotty Barnes so far, as we move to the second half. Anunoby opens up with the ball. Nice pass inside and a nice finish for Quentin DeColo with the early slam. 49-50 now. Here comes Oscar J. Basilan with the finish. So both young point guards start the second half off of a bang. Kyril Story step back over to Chukwuemeka, trying to back down on the superiorly smaller defender, and he is successful. Now 53-54. Toronto still keeping this as a one-score game, but their paint right now is getting dominated early on here in the second half as Murray makes the slam. The Sonics great inside on both ends of the floor in the second half. Good block there by Buzz Wigginton, catching it in midair, and then on the other end, Buzz guarded by Barnes, and Buzz wins that battle pretty easily as the Sonics offense continuing to cook inside. 53-58, there's OG Anunoby going up with the slam. And again, even though the Sonics are playing pretty well, I feel, Toronto is continuing to keep this game close. Buzz to Oscar. He's going to let it fly, and it's good. Oscar Jabasilan hits the open three, and the Sonics are now up by 8. Seattle trying to get some control here in the third quarter. They know this is a game they absolutely should win as it's stolen by Van Vliet. On the other end, great passing, great shot for Cam Reddish. And it seems like the Sonics are starting to get into a groove. It took a little while for them to really play well today, but it seems like they're figuring some things out as Van Vliet gets snuffed again by Chris Boucher. Van Vliet had a nice angle to the paint, but Boucher got the upper hand on that possession. 57-66, here's an open to Kenji Mukwamu, who sinks the top of the key three. 12-point lead, Seattle's biggest of the ball game. Peyton Pritchard guarded by Quickly. Pritchard going inside, kind of heaves up a prayer, and it's good. What a great shot there by Peyton Pritchard as it's now 61-73, about 20 seconds left in the quarter. Buzz with the crossover on Noel, and he throws it down with the one hand. 14-12 through three quarters for Buzz Wigginton. He has been very busy today, and he has been pretty darn good. Boucher guarded by Reddish at the buzzer, no good. A very strong third quarter for the Sonics. They started this quarter up by 3, now they're up by 14. Toronto only scored 14 in that entire quarter. Nice fadeaway by Buzz Wigginton to open up quarter number 4, and as long as Seattle can play smart basketball, they should be good to finish it off. But the Raptors do get the quick dunk there with Scotty Barnes. 63-79, here's Anunoby at the rim. He has an open man in the corner. It's Daxton Lease, no good. But Theodore Chukwu II is there for the rebound and the putback. Toronto trying to stay alive. Great cross-court pass as Daxton Lease hits the three. Lease knew he was not going to miss 2 in a row from the corner, which seems to be his hot spot. 68-79 now. Anunoby going inside, flushes it home, and the Raptors quickly have it within single digits. Great start to the fourth for Toronto. They're not showing any signs of slowing down as DeColo hits the pull-up jumper. The Sonics were up by 16 about 3 minutes ago. Now they're up by 5. Things can change very quickly here in the NBA as the Raptors are right back in the ballgame. Murray to the top of the key for Oscar Jabasilan. That's a big bucket for Seattle. They needed to get some momentum, and that they do. 76-82. Here comes Barnes with the flush. Toronto continuing to inch closer and closer. That dunk would bring it within 4. Now we're within 6. Barnes, no good, but the putback slam is followed by Theodore Chukwu. 80-84. Here's Uzoma Chukwu-Mureji. No good, grabs his own rebound and puts it back in. I've noticed Chukwu-Mureji isn't a great rebounder. He doesn't position himself well down low, isn't great with boxing out, as he has only 3 rebounds all night. Nice three-pointer by Daxton Lease. That'll make it a 7-point ball game, 83-90. Jabasilan lobs it up for Cairo Story, who does the windmill. Story didn't even really need a running start. He was practically stopped, had no momentum going up there, but still with an unbelievable highlight slam. 83-92, great shot by DeColo, bringing it within 7. Now we're within 4. Seattle continuing to try to keep a comfortable lead as Uzoma Chukwu-Mureji bobbles it, gets it back, puts it in. 15 points tonight for Uzoma Chukwu-Mureji, who's had some rough patches through his first 3 games, but he's also shown a lot of flashes of brilliance. Nice shot there by Anunoby to again bring it within 4. Now look at the clock. There's under a minute to go as Story has his 3 rattle in and out. That play really could have been the dagger for the Sonics, but now Toronto still has a fighting chance. About 40 seconds to go. They got to score on this possession, however, as Chukwu sets the screen. The 3 from Barnes is no good, but another putback dunk for Theodore Chukwu. Now it's 92-94. The Sonics should run out the clock, but Chukwu-Mureji is an open 3, and it's no good. Rebounded by Toronto as they call time. Seattle should have just let the clock go. They really shouldn't have shot the 3 with Uzoma Chukwu-Mureji, even though he was wide open. And now Toronto can tie or take the lead. 6 seconds to go. Here's Barnes at the basket. It's good. Scotty Barnes ties it at 94. The Raptors have completed a 16-point comeback within the span of the quarter, and now we are on the verge of overtime. With this game being tied at 94, the Sonics need it in the hands of their closer, which I think is Oscar J. Basile. Seattle has not scored in the past 2.5 minutes. We'll see what they can do here as it indeed goes to Oscar. Trying to create some room. Goes for the step back for the win. No good. And we are headed to overtime. Seattle had this game won at the start of the fourth quarter, but they let go of this game, and we need overtime. This overtime period will last 4 minutes long. We'll see if Toronto can keep the momentum going and give Seattle their first loss of the season, or if the Sonics can get it together and win this ball game as Chukwa wins the tip-off for Toronto, and so they'll start the basketball. They would not end up scoring. Seattle now with it, quickly, with a quick pass, pun intended, over to Oscar J. Basile, who hits for three. Even though J. Basile missed the game winner, the Sonics still want the ball in his hands, as quickly gets it over to Buzz. Buzz goes inside with a nice turnaround, and he now has 20 and 16 as the Sonics are immediately up by 5. Good opening minute of the overtime period for Seattle, as the Raptors answer with a slam by Quinton DeColo, and it's back to a one-score game. Now a one-point game. 98-99. Here's Kyril Story. He does not miss those mid-rangers. He had the open three, but we know Kyril Story is a lot better from inside the arc, so he makes the smart play there, and it's back to a 3-point lead. About a minute and a half to go. Here's Buzz backing down on Boucher. Great play by Buzz Wigington, and the Sonics lead by 5. And again, Toronto's in a little bit of a pickle. They do need to score on this possession as DeColo heaves up a prayer, no good. But Chukwa gets it back, no good. Third time's the charm. Theodore Chukwa has been a rebounding machine today. 100-103. J. Basile has it ripped away. Toronto steals it. It's DeColo with a cross-court dime for Daxton Lees for the tie. Daxton Lees hits the three, and we're knotted up at 103. A bad mistake there by Oscar J. Basile, but on the other possession, he posters Chris Boucher. Talk about coming back and making a statement. What a slam by Oscar J. Basile, and it's a 2-point lead for the Sonics with under 40 seconds to go here in OT. DeColo passes it out for Daxton Lees again. Lees with another three, and the Raptors lead by 1. Seattle going to try to take the lead here on this possession. It's in the hands of Buzz Wigington at the rim. He's blocked. It looked like that was Boucher who snuffs it away. And now Toronto is here at the line. It's Quinton DeColo who sinks the first, and the second one for the talented French point guard will follow. 108-105 with 21 seconds to go. So Seattle calls a timeout. They have an interesting decision here. Do you go for the quick 2, or do you hold and go for the 3 and look to tie the game up? So the Sonics are going to have a pretty tough choice here. We'll see what they game plan there in the huddle. Chukwuemeka is going to inbound it over to Oscar J. Basile, and it looks like Seattle's going to run out this clock and go for the 3 now. Oscar missed a go-ahead 3 at the end of regulation. Now he's going to go for 1 here in overtime. Bang! Oscar J. Basile ties it up at 108. Toronto does not have any timeouts, so they're going to have to go for the full court shot as it's no good from DeColo. And we are not done. 1 overtime in the books. This game remains tied at 108, so that means we need a double overtime. I don't think in any of the games I've played in this series we've made it to a double overtime, which is pretty wild, as again, Theodore Chukwa wins the tip-off, and again, Toronto opens up with the ball, and furthermore, they would not score on their opening possessions. Now the Sonics have it. Oscar J. Basile from deep! He cannot miss! 29 points now on the day for Oscar, 11 of which have been in overtime, including the game tire in double OT. But on the following possession, Theodore Chukwa gets an and one layup, possibly to tie the game, but he would miss the free throw. Seattle rebounds it. Quick passing up the court as DeJounte Murray hits a quick 3. All of a sudden, Seattle is up by 4. Again, just like regulation and just like overtime, Seattle is a nice little lead, but they need to hold on to this lead because they haven't been able to today. OG Anunoby hits the pull-up jumper. Now we're within 2. Here's DeJounte Murray flying inside. He's now in the double figures with 11 points, 1 assist shy of the double-double. It's 112-116. Big possession here for Toronto. Here is Barnes, no good. Rebounded again by Theodore Chukwa, who has had his way down low with Uzama Chukwuemeka when it comes to rebounds. 114-116. Again, it's Oscar from Atlanta, far, far away. He cannot miss right now. Oscar J. Basile is on another planet. 114-119. Barnes, no good. Great defense by Buzz. On the other end, Oscar J. Basile lets it fly from deep, and Seattle leads by 8. Now look at this. The game, something happened to the camera angle where it's totally messed up, so I had no control of my players, and sure enough, look at the scoreboard. Toronto hits a 3. They're literally finding the most creative ways to come back in this game, whether that's hitting crazy threes or just screwing us over with the camera angle. Eventually, I would call a timeout, and luckily it would revert back as it's now only a 3-point game, making a 1-point game off the layup there by DeColo. So again, Seattle had a big lead, and it's kind of falling apart, but they are still up as it's now time to play the foul game. Oscar J. Basile would make both free throws. As there's Chukwu, blocked by Chukwuemeka, but he gets another putback to go in, and again, it's a 1-point game. Back into the hands of Oscar J. Basile. Made his first 2 free throws on the previous possession, looking to add 2 more. That he would do. 39 points now on the day for Oscar J. Basile, and it's a 3-point game. Again, the Raptors can go for the quick 2 or the 3, and it's Anunoby, heaves it up, no good. Questionable shot there by Anunoby, as J. Basile is again fouled. He will go back to the line. The first one is good. That's a 40 bomb for Oscar J. Basile. The Raptors are out of timeouts as he makes the second one, and that's probably the dagger. Thank God. This game was a little bit too crazy here. We had this one won going into the fourth quarter, but the Raptors did a great job of staying alive, obviously needing double overtimes, but we were able to pull off the victory here and go to a 3-0 record. I have nothing but praise for this Toronto team. I mean, they're a resilient group of players, and if this young core can continue to develop, look out. They're going to be a threat in the East. 41 points for Oscar J. Basile, 23 of which came in the 2 overtimes. That's nuts. In overtime, the game plan was just give the ball to Oscar and get out of the way. 22 and 19 for Buzz. He was also fantastic. Uzoma Chukwuemeka had an interesting game, 15 and 9. But again, I feel like he's not a great rebounder. He just doesn't position himself well in the paint. Quentin DeColo with 33, 6 and 8. Scotty Barnes with 26 points. He also missed 23 shots, however. Daxton Lease, 22 on 5 of 6 shooting from 3. And then Teodor Chukwu, the second, 16 points, 21 rebounds. When we drafted Uzoma, I thought he was a pretty good rebounder. Other than that, I think Uzama's been pretty good so far, but I would say that's definitely my major gripe with him. So we're going to simulate up to this Golden State game. I'm not sure if we're going to play against them in the next episode, but we're going to simulate these next 5, and sure enough, we go 5-0. The interesting thing is how close they are. We beat the Hawks by 8, the Kings by 1, the Hawks by 2, and the Pacers by 2. So at 8-0, we're the only undefeated team in the league, yet we had the 5th worst field goal percentage. If we look at the stats, everybody's numbers have gone down except for Oscar J. Basile, who is playing like a superstar right now, averaging 28 points per game on ridiculous efficiency. He's just picked up right where he left off from the playoffs last year, and even though everybody else's numbers are kind of down, it's not bad because we're winning basketball games. Even though a lot of these games are close, we're still winning. And if you look at this past week, we played multiple good teams. I think Boston's pretty solid. The Hawks are a good team. The Pacers are a good team. So I guess our 3-0 start against those first 3 pretty bad teams is not a fluke, and this team appears to be legit. So that's going to conclude today's episode. Next time, we're going to get through a majority of the month of November. Hope everybody enjoyed. Make sure to hit the like button. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you are new. Peace out.